What's up, everyone? Welcome to our online spring fundraiser. We're so excited that you took time out of your busy day to share with us, and we are excited to share the story of Wesley and everything that's been happening during the past year. And let me tell you, it's been quite a year. Even in my own personal life, we've lost loved ones, our friends have gotten sick, and we've been more disconnected from community than ever. And Wesley was no different. It's been a challenging year at Wesley. But looking back, if I were to define this past year with one word, it would be the word perseverance. We have persevered at Wesley. I remember looking at our congregation and seeing college students whose mental health, physical health, spiritual health was at an all-time low. A lot of them lost their spark. I lost my spark. I was worried. But I remember standing in front of the congregation and saying, who is going to step up? Asking, who is going to step up? So one of the biggest reasons why we have persevered this year is because of our students. Because of students like Savannah. You're going to hear from Savannah in a little while. But let me tell you a little bit about Savannah. She came to Wesley as a shy freshman. And today she's a junior who's about to graduate in a couple years. And today she is bold, she is strong, and she is fearless. And I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. Savannah is a big reason why our community persevered. So take this next couple of minutes to know that when you invest in Wesley, you invest in students like Savannah. So check out this testimony from her.
This has been a year of many challenges at Wesley. This year, I have seen a disconnect all around me, but I have also seen room for growing, maturing, and reflecting. When the pandemic first hit, the first thing I noticed was community beginning to disappear. Because of this, it really made me question my faith and its foundation. What was truly holding me up? Community is such a big part of Wesley, and when that is taken away, it really makes you question what supports you. Although I saw many disconnect this year, I personally matured in my faith more than ever during this season. Because I was so busy with work, school, and Wesley, I was finally given that time to really rest and just be still. I was lucky enough that my family was doing well when the pandemic first hit, but I did see that the pandemic didn't weigh on me the same way and to the same extent emotionally and mentally that I saw it weigh on others. Because I was given this time to reflect, I really realized that I wanted to start reading the Bible and understanding my faith better and just growing deeper in my relationship with God. With all of the negativity being poured into the world, I was striving to just be that light and positivity for all of the people around me. And I became very passionate about growing the community at Wesley and just making it stronger and pulling us all back together again. I knew that this task was not going to be something that would be easy, and I did not think that I would ever be able to do any of it alone. And so when we came back to Wesley and had that community again, it was very encouraging to see people that were just as passionate about growing that community. And just having people to be able to work with me at Wesley to do that. During the past year, I have learned a lot that has helped me mature. One of the biggest things I learned is that Christ-centered relationships filled with passion and accountability are so important in a Christian community. But I also learned that it's okay to be alone, and that sometimes when you are alone, you can just grow and mature the most and learn the most. I pushed myself in ways that I never expected. I pushed myself to better my health, my judgment, my relationship with others, and mainly my relationship with God. I also learned that it's okay to initiate friendships and relationships, and that sometimes you're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone to make things better and to fix things. And so I really took that step forward to just help people feel loved and wanted in the Wesley community. This past year has been a huge turning point in my faith, and I'm so thankful for the experiences I've had that have helped me mature.
I'm so glad you got an opportunity to hear from Savannah. She's one of our strongest leaders, and we're so excited to continue to do ministry with her. Now you're going to meet two of our superstars, Rebecca and Noel. Rebecca is going to be a future doctor, and she represents the future of our ministry. Noel, She won the Rick Astley Award here at Wesley. We give out these paper plate awards, and she got the Rick Astley Award for being a person who never gives up. Her perseverance has inspired me to not take no for an answer. So I'm excited that you're going to be able to hear from them. And I'm so humbled that I get to be their pastor and that our ministry has inspired them the way that it has. We have three main goals here at Wesley. We want our college students to make friends, we want our college students to grow in their faith, and we want to encourage leadership in this ministry. And we have stayed consistent with that vision and with that goal. And even though we've struggled, you're going to see in these next two testimonies, two young ladies who have not let the pandemic prevent them from growing in their faith, from being best friends, and from inspiring our community. So check out this testimony from Rebecca and Noel.
Hey guys, my name is Rebecca. I'm a sophomore here at UCF. I'm majoring in health sciences. My day usually starts by getting up in the morning, super early. But before I start my day, what I like to do is I like to read the Bible and spend some time in prayer with God. This isn't something that I always used to do. In my freshman year, when I came to Wesley, I started wanting to discover more about what was in the Bible because I was starting to build a more solid relationship with God. Through the discussions that we had at Wesley, I was able to really be able to make my faith my own and figure out what I truly believe and value. Wesley had really helped me grow so much in my freshman year. I had such an amazing, close relationship with God, and I had honestly made the best friends I've ever made. I honestly felt on top of the world. Then COVID came, and I became really anxious because I thought that those friendships and the community that I had built here at Wesley was going to be hard to maintain because I am not really good at keeping in touch with people, especially when we're separated. But it actually turned out I was worrying for nothing because at Wesley we had Summer Wesley over Facebook Live, we had home churches over Zoom, and I was still able to talk with my friends over the phone and have lots of long distance calls with them so that we could all stay in each other's lives. And something that I found is that even though we were physically separated, we were still able to be there and we were still able to be in each other's lives. One way that Wesley helped was the Facebook Live on Tuesday nights, which kind of replaced our normal Tuesday night Wesleys. Because obviously we couldn't have those anymore due to COVID reasons. It was really a good way to build community because we were able to interact over the comments, which is so fun. Yeah, it's more fun than it sounds, but it was just a really great way to be able to interact with each other. We also had small groups over Zoom where we were able to play a lot of virtual games and just study the Bible together and gain insight from each other in that way as well. And during that time, even though it would seem like we were physically separated and so our community would become more shallow, what actually ended up happening is that it required a lot of intentionality. So our community actually ended up really becoming much deeper, I would say.
Yeah, it was very helpful because everyone seemed to want to deepen that community. There was always someone in the comments wanting to start like a snail mail chain, which was really nice because then we got to send each other mail, which was very intentional. And it was just a really nice time for us to like deepen community during like this super stressful time.
Yeah. And then going into the fall, there was all these questions about how we were going to come back, if Wesley was going to be in person. But I think it all ended up turning out as best as we could have hoped for. Of course, there were masks and there were physical distancing, and our interactions definitely looked different. We were still able to meet, in person on Tuesday nights.
Just 6 feet apart.
Yeah, 6 feet apart, exactly.
Yeah, we were all back in Orlando, so it was just kind of like, it was so nice to have everyone back together, even though it was different than how it was before. And then we also still got to do small groups, and small groups were back in person too, which were really nice because as sophomores now, we really only knew people in our freshly class. So being able to go to new small groups and make friendships with people that we necessarily wouldn't have talked to otherwise, especially in this COVID world, it's been kind of hard to make new friends. because you're kind of like forced to stick with the people that you're comfortable with. So being back in person with our small groups was really, really nice because we just got to meet new people and have new experiences that we probably wouldn't have had otherwise. So, yeah.
In the spring, things only ended up getting better.
Yeah, it started after spring retreat, which was a time where everyone got to hang out with each other for much longer than we've ever had before, because Wesley, you can only stay after Wesley for so long. So being able to spend a whole day at Warren Willis, which was something that I'm sure all of us really wanted because we didn't have our normal fall retreat, was just really nice for everyone to be able to hang out with each other and play games all day and just experience the very hot weather that was happening that day. Everyone got sunburned together, and it was just a nice community moment for us all.
So with the games and with the spring retreat, it feels like our community is going back to normal.
Yeah, we're like one united Wesley community, but we're like in our new normal edition. So that's just something that we've really enjoyed having the opportunity to build this past year, and it's just been a really good time. It's been hard for sure, but I think in the end, like, we've really been able to deepen community in ways that we weren't thinking to do before. So that's always been really cool to see. Yeah.
Thank you so much to Rebecca and Noelle. And like Noelle said, I am also super excited about the fall and about the future of our ministry. Next up, I want you to meet Carson and Noah. Carson and Noah are two of what we call two of the bros. And the bros is this group of young men who came into our ministry with tons of energy. They were super hype, and we didn't know what to do with all that energy. So I just tapped into old college Irwin, and I was hyped with them. But all joking aside, this group of young men, they were not only this high energy, but they were deep thinkers. They're academically gifted, and they're extremely committed to their faith. In a world where men are less likely to go to church, they were the opposite. They started a movement in our ministry where we had tons of guys come to our church and grow in their faith. And they build this brotherhood, they build this friendship that was inspiring. They were vulnerable, they were honest, and they were committed to deep action and deep faith. And so I can't wait for you to hear from them, because their story is also a story of perseverance, because they build such a strong community. And then the pandemic hit, and they were challenged. But check out how they overcame, and they continued to help the church thrive.
Ministry is still kicking. We're still having a lot of fun. We're still learning a lot about Jesus, and we're still growing in community a ton.
Yeah, I think it was crazy because we don't do tabling anymore because of COVID, but we still had so many freshmen, and I feel like that's a big way we get the freshmen to come in, or just new people in general to come in. We've had a lot of new people this year, which has been cool. So
yeah, I've enjoyed getting to meet the new people. I'm really excited to meet next year's students as well. So I'm really excited for next year, and this year's just given me a lot of hope throughout the difficult times.
Definitely pretty frustrating. At the beginning, we were on a trip in North Carolina with some of our friends, and we saw the Wesley video of how the year was going to look, and we were definitely very frustrated in the moment, but it turned out to be a pretty good year, and we still got to do some of the stuff that we wanted to do. So.
Yeah, I'd say one of my favorite parts of this week, or one of my favorite parts of every single week, is attending men's group on Mondays. It's been really good conversation, getting to dive deeper into your faith, getting to know more about the people in the ministry, and diving into that.
Yeah, I would say the exact same thing. I also live with Carson and two other Wesley guys, and yeah, just what he was saying, sitting on the couch, talking late at night, or just talking about how our weeks was or how our day were and stuff like that. I really love doing that, or cooking a meal together or something like that. I really love that consistency.
Yeah, outside of roommates, we have a lot of other friends, a lot of other guys and girls. I always enjoy going to the beach with them. we started playing disc golf over quarantine. That's been a lot of fun as well. We would make some random trips, drive 3 hours to some random coast and play some disc golf. So that's been a lot of fun as well, and getting to dive deeper into those relationships even through COVID.
And we also went on a North Carolina trip with some of our friends, and we were like, it wasn't really like a Wesley trip or anything like that, but we still like found some points where we got to like talk about our faith and like have some devotionals, and like we had a worship night. Carson plays guitar, so we got to worship a little bit, so that was really cool.
So those memories are some of my favorites. Not like, so Wesley isn't just a ministry that meets on Tuesdays. It's more than that, and it's the relationships that we make, and the consistency outside of Wesley really contributes a lot to the community, I would say.
Yeah, we got to do a lot of Zoom calls over quarantine. Like, we were all in our houses back at home and stuff, but we still like were intentional about it, and like still had some Zoom calls and like played some online games, and just honestly just laughed until like all nights of the hour. And it was great. I love those memories too. So.
Yeah. We've had a lot of hard times this semester. It's been difficult for sure, but the church is very much alive. The message of the gospel still stands very strong, even through COVID and all the difficulties that come with that. So I would say Wesley is definitely not dead. We're still here. We're still kicking. I'm really excited for next year.
I want to thank Noah and Carson for sharing their testimonies, and the rest of our students for sharing their stories. As you can see, it's been a year. It's been a year of perseverance. And we believe at Wesley that our best years are ahead of us. We believe that we've learned so much through this pandemic that nothing can stop us. And there's going to be nothing as big as a world pandemic. And so as we move forward to the next year, we want to expand our reach on the UCF campus. And we want to especially help college students who are homeless and who are in need. And so we need your help. We need your prayers, and we also need your financial contributions. Your donations helps us with our worship supplies, with our supplies for our retreats, helps us with meals for college students, to help college students who have financial need, and helps us with our staff who we cannot do this ministry without. So consider going online at wesley@ucf.org/donate, or send a check, and you can find our mailing address on our website. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you again for taking time out of your busy schedule. We love you, pray for us, and remember us as we continue to try and persevere during some of the toughest times in ministry. We love you guys. Peace.